Welcome to Agincourt Community Services, Dorset Park Community Hub. We are today.
Thank you so much for that kind and warm welcome. I'd like to invite my colleagues from the House of Commons to join me here as I make for joining me here for this really important announcement. And I also want economic outcomes and have a better chance of integrating into Canadian society. That is why we recently announced measures that resulted in a dramatic cut in processing times for spousal sponsorships. We were able to dramatically reduce the processing times for spousal sponsorships from more than 26 months and as long as 3 years to now 12 months or less. We were able at the same time to dramatically cut and process more than 20,000 spousal cases that were in backlog. And that has resulted in all those cases resulting in reunited families and better outcomes for all of us. And as we do that, as we work more towards reuniting families and reducing processing times, we also have to ensure that we also maintain a focus on the safety and security of all potential newcomers to Canada. We must be particularly vigilant about the safety of those newcomers who may be in abusive relationships and situations. And with that in mind, I'm announcing today that we have eliminated conditional permanent residence for sponsored spouses or partners of Canadian citizens and permanent residents. Conditional permanent residence required that some sponsored spouses or partners live in a conjugal relationship with their sponsor for 2 years in order to keep their permanent resident status. Eliminating conditional permanent residence supports our commitment to gender equality and to combat gender violence. It is also in line with our government's commitment to reunite families and make it easier for immigrants to build new lives in Canada. By eliminating conditional permanent residence, we are addressing concerns that vulnerable sponsored spouses and partners may remain in abusive situations out of fear that they may lose their permanent residence and if they leave that abusive spouse or partner. In other words, we're doing away with a measure that could potentially result in people choosing reluctantly to remain in abusive relationships as opposed to moving ahead and getting out of those abusive relationships. This removal of the conditional permanent residence is also a recognition by our government that the vast majority of marriages and partnerships are genuine and most spousal sponsorship applications are made in good faith. But as we take this action, we also renew our commitment to combat marriage fraud, and we continue to have strong measures in place to safeguard against such fraud. These measures include assessments made by our highly qualified and frontline immigration officers who conduct in-depth screening, and also a waiting period of 5 years from the day that they're granted permanent residence for sponsored spouses to be eligible to sponsor a new spouse or partner. We've found on balance that conditional permanent residence as a tool to deter marriage fraud hasn't proven to outweigh the potential risks to vulnerable spouses and partners. And as I said, our government will continue to meet our solemn commitment to ensure that families are together, are reunited for their benefit and for the benefit of the entire country. Removing conditional permanent residence will support that commitment while offering greater protection to vulnerable sponsored spouses. Thanks very much, and I'm very happy to answer any questions you may have on this topic. Thank you. I'll continue as usual because we are still committed and doubly committed to eliminate marriage fraud. We believe that the vast majority of marriages are genuine, and we're willing to